Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, I'm your host Zach Jackson. So let's get right to the YouTube show I have for you guys today. We got two segments for you guys today here on the YouTube show. First up, we're going to be going over. I know on Wednesday, me, John, and Ian took over what happened surprising in the NFL playoffs. But I'm going to go more in depth of the AFC NFC championship game that's happening this Sunday coming up. One at 3 and one at 6:30. So we'll see what happens with these games. There are going to be some great games between the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, the 49ers, and the Detroit Lions. It's going to be great championship games. Whoever advances goes to the Super Bowl in 2 weeks on Sunday. So we'll see what happens there. But moving on from that, our second segment will be why the Lakers maybe should not trade for D'Angelo Russell because despite hot January, other than that, he's been playing pretty ass. But man, the way he's been playing in the month of January has people kind of having a different perspective on if we should trade D'Lo, because we might just have to be looking for another D'Angelo Russell who's going to be able to score as much as he is. So we'll go into depth about the D'Angelo Russell trade rumor, see if it's a good fit to get rid of him, or should we keep him and bring somebody else along and without trading him. So we'll see what happens there. But moving on from that, I believe that we'll have more of a different situation when it comes from the D'Angelo Russell trade to just moving from different perspectives. So let's get first up to the AFC and NFC championship game, where we'll be going over just about what's happening in these games coming on Sunday. So let me share the screen. We all know who's going to be coming, who's in the game, but there's some different key things that you have to get look at with them here. First up, you have just the explanation of just how big these games are. I mean, you really can't move past it. These games are massive. I mean, AFC Championship game, you got the number 3 Kansas City Chiefs defending Super Bowl champs against the number 1 Baltimore Ravens, who this man is going to win his second MVP. And he has a chance to get to the Super Bowl. This is going to be Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. Opening line, Baltimore is projected to win by -3, and the over and under is 44.5. So I would probably take Kansas City covering the -3 and the over 44.5. What to know? The ideal ingredients for winning in the postseason would seem to be an elite quarterback and elite defense. That brings us to the Ravens, just the 4th team since the 1970 merger to have a first-team All-Pro quarterback and number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. So that shows they have a complete team. This team is destined to win a Super Bowl and get to the Super Bowl. The 3 previous teams to do so are the 1972 Dolphins, 1978 Steelers, and 1966 Packers. All went to win the Super Bowl. So they all have some experience in winning the Super Bowl in these type of teams. So we'll see what happens. That's the combination of factors working in the Ravens' favor next Sunday, with the quarterback Lamar Jackson coming off a historic performance against the Texans, 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 touchdown passes, and the Ravens' defense limiting Houston to its second lowest yardage total of the season in 213. This seems like a truly complete team, but don't expect the Chiefs to be at least bit phased by any of this after overcoming the Bills on the road in another memorable matchup between building rivals. After being treated to one premier quarterback matchup in Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen Sunday, the AFC playoffs will serve up another in a championship game when Mahomes and Chiefs visit Jackson and the Ravens. So this is going to be one hell of a matchup here between these two quarterbacks and these two defenses, because both defenses are playing out of their mind, and both of them can make a run and force turnovers and whatnot. So they have a complete defense. They have a complete offense. Both sides of the ball. Both sides, the Chiefs and the Ravens. Patrick Mahomes never had a defense this compact, this dominant, able to force turnovers, able to stop the run. So it goes in his favor as well. But Baltimore is just on a different level. The Chiefs, though, they are 3-2 in the AFC title games with Mahomes under center, but there's a key difference this season. The Chiefs have arguably the best defense in Mahomes' era. They finished the season second in scoring defense and yards allowed. No Kansas City team has been higher than 7th in either metric in Mahomes' tenure. Holder, while the Ravens will win, both sides of the ball are on fire for Baltimore. Let's start with the defense, where the Ravens allowed 0 offensive touchdowns in the divisional round against the Texans. The Ravens defense didn't blink against Houston. the way the Browns did in the wild card round, and the unit was dominant, particularly against the run, where Baltimore allowed negative 0.29 EPA per play. It's nothing new for the Ravens defense, which now ranks first in EPA per play over the course of the season, playoffs included. Despite the name brand and the Chiefs, the reality of this matchup is that Baltimore's defense has been much better than Kansas City's offense. That is true. I mean, Kansas City's offense, other than lately, has been kind of spiraling out of control, and they really can't get anything going offensively most of the time until the last couple weeks. So he's not wrong about that. Offensively, the Ravens are on almost as strong of a roll. They were good all season, and they kicked it up a notch in the playoffs. Jackson posted a 94 QBR against Houston, and his run plays or drop backs, the Ravens accrued a 0.41 EPA per play. In other words, every 5 of Jackson's plays added to 2 full points to the Ravens' expected scoring margin. The Chiefs' defense will provide more resistance than Houston's did, but Kansas City's ranked 11th in EPA per per play allowed against opposing QBs, scrambles, or runs. And overall, the Chiefs are simply weaker against the run, ranking 26th in EPA per opponent designed carry. It could be another big day for Jackson. So this is what were the reasons why the Ravens will win this game. But let's go look at how the Ravens will lose this game and the Chiefs will get the win. So these are the reasons why the Chiefs will win this game. While the Chiefs will win, it's still Mahomes with the best defense he's ever had. Like I said earlier, the Chiefs still have Andy Reid calling the plays, a breakout wide receiver in Rashid Rice, and an offensive line that protects Mahomes, and a tight end, Travis Kelce, who has 2 touchdowns in the divisional round and is arguably the best tight end to walk the planet. Despite all that has gone wrong this season, not notably the receivers league worst 5.7% drop rate entering Sunday, and their inability to support Mahomes and the offense an elite level. All of above means the Chiefs have a chance to score plenty of points in the AFC Championship game. Plus, while the Ravens led the league in sacks in their regular season, Mahomes simply refuses to take them. His 3.9% sack rate and 13.8% sack to pressure rate ranks second in the NFL behind Allen. And while Buffalo moved the ball at will at times against the Chiefs, the long view of the defense is still one of the best groups in the league, ranking 4th in EPA per play allowed. In the end, Kansas City kept the Bills out of the end zone too. The Chiefs are undergo, and deservedly so. They just beat Baltimore's biggest challenge in the AFC. They can beat the Ravens themselves too. So this is going to be an even matchup. I mean, I don't believe any of these teams are going to have a real big chance to blow these teams out. Any of these teams could, but will they? I don't think so. I think both teams are going to play really good football, especially on the offensive side. Defensive side, I think both teams are going to have a trouble stopping each other. But that's just what happens when you have 2 great teams and 2 great quarterbacks and 2 great offenses. So I do believe that's going to be a problem. But now we're moving on to the NFC side of things with the NFC Championship game between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers Sunday, January 28th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. The opening line is San Fran -7 and 51.5 is the over and under. I'm going to take Detroit covering the -7 and winning this game, and I'm going to go with the over of 51.5. I think both of these games are going to be high-scoring games. What to know, the 49ers haven't won a Super Bowl since 1994. To put that in perspective, quarterback Steve Young threw 3 touchdown passes to Jerry Rice in the Super Bowl to win over the Chargers. So it has been a long time since San Fran has won a Super Bowl. Still, the Niners will be making their 7th appearance in the NFC Championship game since 2011. San Francisco has gone 2-4 in those games, 3 of which have come under Coach Kyle Shanahan in 2019. Shanahan has a chance to pass Bill Walsh for the best postseason win percentage in club history with a win over Detroit. As for a quarterback, Brock Purdy, he's trying to build a legacy of his own, and winning this game would go a long way after he was knocked out of the conference this title game with an elbow injury last season. But the Lions are also trying to rewrite history books by winning 2 playoff games for the first time since 1957. Holy shit. That is a long time ago. They've already done something most Lions fans haven't never personally witnessed, and the Lions are doing it with an explosive offense that figures to test the 49ers' elite defense. The Detroit has the chance. They have the offense. They have the quarterback. They can win this game against the 49ers and that defense and Brock Purdy in that offense. They just have to play sound football. and they have to play no turnover football game. They cannot turn the football. They turn the football over, this game might be over. But now moving on to the rest. Why the 49ers will win. Yes, Purdy's performance in the division round against the Packers when he posted a negative -6% completion percentage over expectation per NFL Next Gen Stats cause concern. But the best way to judge a team is with a long lens, and when we do that, the 49ers still look plenty menacing. And let's think about the matchup here. The 49ers have the most efficient passing offense in football. What is the Lions' big weakness? Defending the pass. Entering Sunday, the Lions ranked 30th in EPA allowed per opposing dropbacks. San Francisco plethora of offensive playmakers will be nightmare for Detroit. And while the Lions' offense is also effective, they don't have the same firepower as the 49ers, which is also true. Plus, the 49ers have stars galore on defense to counter edge rusher Nick Bosa and defensive tackle Javon Hargrave. Led a pass rush that can't get pressure on the quarterback despite blitzing only 20% of the time, sixth lowest, and cornerback Charvarius Ward and linebacker Fred Warner should be able to at least mitigate Detroit's Amon St. Brown and Sam Laporta. But in that big game with they did sign Zach Ertz to the practice squad, so we'll see if Zach Ertz makes an appearance this coming NFC Championship game this Sunday. Why the Lions will win? The Lions have two major factors working for them in the NFC Championship game. First, a shaky Purdy until his game-winning drive against the Packers. Purdy looked plenty favorable. He had led an ultra-efficient offense over the course of the season, but if he's rattled at all, that gives Detroit hope. Second, one thing you could do against the 49ers is run on them. That plays right into the Lions' hands because they like to run the football, and when they run the football and they do play action, they are a dangerous team. Now moving on to the last part of the segment here. Second, one thing you can do is run on Lions' strength as they are rushed for 114 yards against Tampa Bay. They run heavy with the 11th highest run rate over expectation per NFL Next Gen Stats, and yet they are the sixth most efficient running team in the league in terms of EPA per play, thanks to a strong play from David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Finally, the 49ers are one of the most efficient pass defenses because of their ability to defend deep throws, making third in EPA per play allowed on attempts of 20 or more air yards. But that's the wasted skill against Detroit, which throws deep just 7% of the time, the lowest rate in the NFL. The Lions will need the ball to bounce their way a few times, but they certainly have hope. I think they have a little bit more than hope. I would say they have a big shot at beating the 49ers. I think they got a good enough offense. They got a good enough run game. They got some playmakers on the offense and defensive side of the football. Aiden Hutchinson is going to be a problem for the 49ers offensive line. He's gonna get in there. So we'll see how Purdy answers to the pressure and answers to the call. But I do think that the 49ers have a legitimate shot to win this game and blow out the Detroit. But I do think the Lions will win this game, cover the -7, and I'm going to go with the over of 55.1 spread. And then back to the Ravens and Chiefs game. Mark Andrews is going to make his illustrious return from the injury list. We got the update today. Mark Andrews' remarkable return will come on a championship Sunday. Andrew has been activated from injured reserve and is poised to play in the Baltimore Ravens AFC Championship game matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported Friday that the team later announced the news. Originally expected to miss the remainder of the season after suffering an ankle injury in Week 11, Andrews' prospects drew outside chance, optimism for a potential playoff return shortly after this week. He practiced in full throughout just as he did the week prior. However, this time around, the Ravens had deemed their downed-out tight end good to go. So that's another weapon for Lamar Jackson and that offense. He is going to be a problem for Kansas City and the Kansas City Chiefs defense to guard him. So someone's got to make a play call. Someone's got to be able to take him away. And then you got to deal with Lamar Jackson. It's going to be hard for the Chiefs to win this game, especially now with Lamar Jackson back in the swing of things. But if anyone can do it, it's Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Travis Kelce to get the job done, get Kansas City back to the Super Bowl for the second straight time. But other than that, guys, we are moving on to our second and last segment here on the Fire Sports Pod. I'll catch you guys in just a little bit. So we're going to be moving on to the D-Lo side of things. So we're going to be going over what's happening with D'Angelo Russell because there's a lot of things to go over with this guy because you never know what's happening with him because it looks like They look like they're moving on from him, but now he's playing out of his mind. I mean, I don't really know where you could tell me that we should trade him. I mean, yeah, he's a little inconsistent, but the way he's been playing in January, he keeps this up. My lordy, we're gonna be in good shape. So if you guys don't see, if you guys could see, Los Angeles Lakers point guard D'Angelo Russell is telling us how he really feels about the latest trade rumors surrounding him. Russell recently liked a post made by former NBA player Evan Turner on Twitter/X regarding how LA would regret trading him away. D. Russ, a different player with the Rock. If the Lakers trade him, they're just going to be looking for another player like him. 16 points per game with 6 assists while shooting 48% from the floor. Come on now. That I hoop for real. So I mean, Evan Turner saying this, I don't disagree with him. I think D'Lo's playing out of his mind ever since we said we were going to trade him, and ever since we got him back in the starting lineup. And we said that he might be on the trading block. He's been playing out of his freaking mind. This guy deserves to stay in LA. I think he is going to help us a lot down the road. I think we need to answer the call from some other stuff, like bringing a guy like Zack LaVine or whatever, and we might have to still give him up for that type of player. But right now, we still can't beat those big teams. Well, against the Clippers the following night, we didn't have LeBron James, and we lost by 11. We cut it to 2, and then we just kept missing wide open like layups that were at the rim in the closing fourth quarter. So if we clean those things up, we're on a 3-game winning streak, beating Portland, beating the Clippers, and then beating last night the Bulls. So we'll see what happens with this, but I really believe that the Lakers should try to keep this guy because I think D'Lo is going to help us out big time, especially in the playoffs. I think that was the big time last year. He was great with the Warriors, but he shrank against the Denver Nuggets. He was a no-show. D'Lo liked this tweet and remains in his likes. Russell has been in the trade talks all his career, especially as a Laker. It seems like his job is never safe there, and he always looked at it as a trade piece wherever he's landed. He's been a part of 4 teams in 8 years, and yet he's moved on from all those teams via trade. The Lakers traded him to Brooklyn Nets after his second year in the league. After 2 seasons in Brooklyn, he was involved in a sign-in trade with the Golden State Warriors. Later that season, in the first as a Warrior, the team traded him to the Timberwolves prior to the trade deadline, and then after that, he got traded to the Lakers. He spent 3 seasons there before being traded back to the Los Angeles Lakers in last year's trade that surrounded him and Russell Westbrook. It's been a never-ending cycle for D'Lo, and I'm sure he's tired of it and moving everywhere. I mean, I would too. I mean, you got a family, you got this, you got that, and moving everybody all over the place all the time is ridiculous. But I think he's been playing great, and I think he deserves to stay in here. I think he deserves a shot. Um, like Evan Turner said, you're just gonna have to be finding another guy like him. You already have somebody like him. He's posted 17 points a game, almost 6 assists. And he's shooting 48% from the field. I mean, what else do you want him to do? It's been a never-ending cycle for D'Lo, and I'm sure he's tired of it. Everywhere he's gone, he's done nothing but be a professional, and he has balled out regardless. Russell is currently playing a great stretch of basketball and is putting at the pressure on the front office to make the move if they do deem if necessary. He hasn't been as consistent as we'd hope, but if he can keep up this play from the past 3 games, averaging 27.3 points, then maybe, just maybe, he could stick around past February 8th. Not just today. Last night he had 29 again. So this just shows this man's doing something. He's part of some good culture. He wants to stay here. He wants to contribute. And I think if he stays here and he keeps balling like he is, he'll definitely contribute to winning basketball. We just have to play winning basketball. We all players have to be being cohesive unit and want to play out there, want to be out there, want to go for a loose ball, want to go at that extra rebound, want to get that extra assist, want to get that bucket at a needed time, instead of just folding all the time and not wanting to like push to win games. Sometimes it just sometimes it seems even LeBron, like sometimes he takes some plays off. Yeah, I know he's 39. We shouldn't be talking. Well, there's no oomph to get that ball. There's no oomph to get the block because he's older. But Anthony Davis, man, he should be taken along a little bit more of this. But he's been playing. Can't really fault him either. He's been playing out of his mind. It's funny. LeBron and Anthony Davis haven't really missed any time. Knock on wood. Haven't missed any time this year. And has been playing phenomenal basketball. Everybody else has been playing shit. Reeves is not the same from last year. Rhea Hachimura has been able to get on a streak because he's been injured. Vanderbilt's been in and out of the lineup. Gabe Vincent we haven't even seen him. We've seen him 4 games in the beginning of the season, and that was it. Cam Reddish is just out for 2 weeks with a sprained ankle, so there goes another one. Torian Prince is a little inconsistent here and there. Jackson Hayes is not the guy we lived up to, thought we were going to get. So, yeah, there's a lot of guys that are not what we panned out to be, are very inconsistent, and is not the same from last year. So we got to get that going if we want to do anything in the playoffs, or at least get there, or at least have a shot to get there. So we gotta play sound basketball. We gotta be more of a cohesive unit if we want to do something or make a run for the championship. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for my YouTube show here on the Fire Sports Pod. I'm your host, Zach Jackson. This has been a great honor to have you guys on my show. I'll catch you guys either tomorrow or Sunday. If it's tomorrow, it's going to be our debate show tomorrow night. If it's Sunday, it's going to be probably in the morning debate show before the NFC and AFC championship game. So I'll catch you guys there. If not, I'll catch you guys later in the day on Sunday for the debate show. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your Friday afternoon, and I'll catch you guys either Saturday or Sunday on the debate show. If you guys want any updates on the debate show coming up, I'm going to be doing my TikToks throughout the day today, tomorrow, and Sunday, and we'll keep you posted on what day the debate show is going to be. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your Friday afternoon, and I'll catch you guys then. Peace out.